That right there, your local weather on the 8s, but your amazing part starts right here on AMHQ. It's Thursday. We're that close to Friday. We can get through this and get there. We'll start with Kansas City, though. Showers, got a live look this morning. We do have a little bit of an alert for you going. There's some showers and thunderstorms that could get strong this afternoon into tonight. We're talking about up to a quarter inch of rain. And by the way, LA soaking. Moving west for this live look. Get ready for some scattered storms today. Some hail, over a half inch of rain if I could enunciate. All starting around noon local time. Sierra snowfall. Look at Diamond Peak Ski Resort in Lake Tahoe. Well, it's closed, but somebody better write a note to the snow because the snow hasn't figured it out yet. Up to 2 inches above 6,000 feet. What season is it? The snow says full on winter tonight into Friday. But first, let's talk about these severe storms and ramping up that threat into the weekend starting what, Friday?
Yeah, starting tomorrow in earnest across the plains. You know, some of those pictures that you showed with the snow in the west, that has something to do with the severe weather in the plains because you need that powerful storm system in the west to have all those kind of parameters in place for Friday. That's where we think the severe weather is going to be. Tornadoes are a possibility. Also on Saturday, look, from the northern plains down through the Texas highlands. Watch out, Des Moines, Wichita, Kansas City. Kansas City, one of my favorite towns. You know, I lived there for 10 years, Sam.
Did you?
I love Kansas City.
Yeah, barbecue spot.
It depends on what I want. Actually, Casey Master, well, I could go on and on about that. But anyway, let's have a look at Sunday's weather too, because we got more severe weather continuing on, headed towards the Great Lakes. Madison, Wisconsin, watch out. Another one of my favorite towns. Man, I lived there for 10 years also.
Yeah. Look at that. Barbecue is a subtle conversation. There are so many different kinds
subtle about a barbecue conversation.
We could do a full half hour and should on barbecue places across the country and then give them a forecast. But right now, if you're waking up wet, well, you're not alone. Across the Midwest, you've got a storm closing in on the West Coast as well. A live look at St. Louis and San Diego. St. Louis will get a quarter inch of rain this morning with thunderstorms possible tonight. San Diego, well, you're part of this rain that's moving in later on this evening. Hey, we've got some showers moving on to the Bay Area very soon right now. So we're looking at all of this going on from St. Louis into San Diego. Here are some of the storms that we're tracking right now. A line of showers that stretch from Louisiana all the way to the northern edge of Minnesota. Jenna, it's a long line to follow. And I'm seeing lightning dancing over your head.
Yeah, it is. And we show you the radar out here. Listen to this. This is moving through the northern parts of Minnesota. But what we're doing is we're taking you back in time to show you how this storm came in from the south across Texas with all the heavy rain. You saw the flooding coming out yesterday, and now it's on top of parts of the Midwest. As we show you to the live camera right now, we look at St. Louis. You're looking at showers out there, some lightning for some areas, including parts of Oklahoma. But as we look ahead, St. Louis, this is Interstate 70 as well as into 64. Just some light stuff out there. Moving up towards the north. Notice no lightning from St. Louis all the way up towards Minneapolis. It's just some of that good old-fashioned light rain out there to start your Thursday. As we look ahead, the wet conditions are going to be impacting you for Friday as well as Saturday into Sunday. And this is going to make Dr. Greg Postel sad because no barbecuing in Kansas City or St. Louis. This is just not going to be the weather for it. As we go through the afternoon, notice by about 5 o'clock, we're going to start to see that rain moving into areas like Chicago. But it's only going to be coming through, starting to get a little bit heavier pockets moving through the northern parts of Illinois. Today, here's your forecast. We're showing you Kansas City rain around. And then notice by the evening hours, things quiet down. But Chicago, your rain comes later as it progresses in from south into north and east.
All right, looking from there, let's get into parts of Texas right now. Doused with 10 inches or in some cases more of rain in just the last week. Hey, if that's too much too fast, generating some flooding in places like Houston and Corpus Christi, we have had the pictures for days. Anna Rittis has been covering this. The silver lining, if there is one, when your home is flooded and property is lost, you just got to look north into the lakes and reservoirs, at least in the eastern half of the state, filled to the brim right now as we see these images. We're also watching water being cast off. This is a big deal for Texas because for the first time since 2012, there is no level of exceptional drought in Texas. That's the higher level. We still have some areas that are in need of some rainfall, but looking at these pictures, KPRC giving you the aerials there, it is difficult to understand that we could take any more. We've got to get this rain soaking in. Anna Rittis Rodriguez right now is at Ray Roberts Lake. That's north of Dallas. Good morning, A-Rod. And I'll tell you, the images show all the trouble this water is bringing. It's difficult to tell people it's beneficial.
Yeah, that's right, Sam. Good morning to you and good morning to you at home. The silver lining, as you mentioned, is the fact that the latest drought monitor has been released, and it found that last year, 90%, at least 90% of the state of Texas was seeing some form of drought condition, was experiencing some form of drought condition. Today, that number has dropped 30%. Why? Because of the recent rains that we've seen so far. As a result, it has swollen lakes and rivers. Behind me, the Ray Roberts main spillway. The Army Corps of Engineers has actually opened the floodgates. They've been speeding the release of water, and that has been very beneficial for farmers and ranchers trying to raise cattle.
Best year we've had in the last 5 years.
Lush green fields now blanketing central Texas, a sign their long, crippling drought may be retreating.
All the lakes, I think, are full now in North Texas. We hadn't had that in forever.
Lake Whitney, south of Dallas, now completely full. Before this week's deluge, it stood at 78% capacity, adding more than 6 feet of water in just 7 days. It's a stark contrast to what Texas lakes looked like just last year. But even 2014 didn't match the devastation of 2011, which rivaled the Dust Bowl of the 1930s.
Oh, it's hurt real bad.
These drops are turning that hurt into hope for ranchers at the Clifton Livestock Commission.
The mood around here has been wonderful lately. This time last year, I think for 2014, we had about an inch and a half of rain. Up until this point, we're right at about 16 inches since the 1st of January.
This rain's turned around. Everybody's restocking, getting their numbers back again.
For the first time in years, ranchers are looking to add cattle to herds, which may eventually push down cattle and beef prices. But ranchers in Central Texas aren't getting ahead of themselves. The only numbers they're watching are the rain gauge.
To tell you the truth, I've lost count of how much rain I've had. Oh, I feel blessed and lucky both from the good Lord above.
So good news for busting the drought, but the bad news is that the flood threat still continues. This water, Sam, eventually going to feed into those Dallas tributaries, and people who live south of the dam are being told to be ready to evacuate at a moment's notice, especially if we see rain this weekend.
All right, Anna Rittis, and indeed we will. So all the things that are beneficial, you've got that heavyweight, Greg, about what's good, what's bad.
Yeah, because the rain and the severe weather, unfortunately, are going to come together, and it's going to start today. Let's have a look at the area that we expect big storms across parts of Texas today. That area outlined in red, we think hail and high winds will be the primary mode. There may be a tornado or two. Here's the culprit. You can see on the satellite pictures. Check this guy out. This is a pretty nasty swirly out here. Nasty in one sense with the severe weather, but also it is going to help bring rain to the southern plains again. Look at the jet stream on the periphery, on the southern periphery of that. There are 100+ mile-per-hour winds coming in, and it's right on the edges of those jet streams. A lot of times you get some rising motion, which is going to help produce some precipitation. So you can see that. You can model it out. And watch this. See this area of rain? Look where it's going. It's going that way. To Texas, Sam, you love that. Texas-style rain. Here it comes all the way. And when it runs into the moisture, that's the contouring in the background. Here comes some big storms, and it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And there's more, and there's going to be more storms later on this afternoon. Some of these could be severe right along this very same area that has seen a lot of precipitation lately, which is excellent news for the drought. Through Sunday, there's going to be more than that coming over the weekend. We see a couple of inches at least of rain, but unfortunately, as I said, severe weather will come with it. Stay tuned for all the latest. We'll be right back here on AMHQ.
Occasional constipation, diarrhea, gas, bloating?
Yes.
One Phillips Colon Health probiotic cap each day helps defend against these occasional digestive issues with 3 types of good bacteria. Live the regular life. Phillips.
It's nearly Memorial Day, so hurry into Lowe's for these great deals, like the Charbroil Advantage Series 4-burner gas grill, now only $249, plus the Safford patio set for only $598. So before this Memorial Day, come to Lowe's and enjoy special savings.
Time to sweat, boys. Big time. Let's get this thing right. This is my one shot.
I have made fire!
Fat Guys in the Woods. The new season starts June 7th, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 87. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. tonight. Partly cloudy skies. Low 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. We love to see your pictures. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well right here on AMHQ.
Can a protein originally found in a jellyfish improve your memory? Our scientists say yes. Researchers have discovered a protein that actually supports healthier brain function. It's the breakthrough in a supplement called Prevagen. As we age, we lose proteins that support our brain. Prevagen supplements these proteins and has been clinically shown to improve memory. It's safe and effective. For support of healthier brain function, a sharper mind, and clearer thinking, try Prevagen for yourself today.
The ultimate do-over for wood and concrete. Don't replace, resurface. Behr Premium Deck Over, exclusively at the Home Depot.
And welcome back to AMHQ, 10 minutes past the hour. Here's a scene you see way too often coming out of California. Firefighters in Sacramento County, California, saving homes from a brush fire. Now, the flames forced 2 homeowners to evacuate and damaged a deck. The winds were gusting up to 20 miles per hour. That helped fuel the fire, but crews, with the help of neighbors, were able to help get this under control with garden hoses. Now, arson investigators are working to figure out how it all started. You know, we always say there is no time to do any type of burning when you're talking about exceptional drought out there.
Right, exactly. It's tough though because so many people want to get an edge on it,
And
but
go
it's just
outside
not
for activities
right.
and
It's just
fires,
not. You just
you know.
can't. Hey, but take a look at California. This is a whole new thing. This is the brand new drought monitor, and 46% of California is under exceptional drought right now. That's according to the Brown News. The brand new drought monitor released just 30 minutes ago. Now, more than 37 million people in the state are impacted by the drought. We have some slightly good news, Jen, in the fact that we are bringing just some showers, a little bit of rain into California today.
Yeah, you know, it's so incredible out of this. It's coming so late in the season. We're supposed to be done with the rainy season, and luckily there's decided to be kind of a loophole there because we're getting some much needed precipitation as we show you what's happening on the radar. And this is something that you rarely see, especially coming this late in May. Some of this rain trying to work in. You can see for some areas, including the southern parts of California. But as we widen up the view and kind of show you what's happening, we have this trough. It's going to be coming through, dipping through, and as it does, it's going to be swinging over towards the east, and this is going to be kicking off some rain out there. And we're not just talking about a couple millimeters or something like that. We're talking potentially an inch or more of rainfall. As we show you for today, here's the forecast. Look at this. Some thunderstorms out there. We may even see a little bit of hail out there. So if you see some of this, take some snapshots and send it to us. My weather, but South Lake Tahoe. And we're also going to be looking at some much needed snowfall for areas up and down the Sierras. But look at this rain. We're talking Los Angeles as well as into San Diego. Well, when you're dealing with an exceptional drought, you're looking for creative ways to take care of outdoor activities. This is something that is going to help. Tomorrow we're looking at the rain, and by the weekend we're going to dry things out. But we show you some of the amounts out there. An inch, maybe an inch or two. I see the people in San Diego and Los Angeles really applauding this. And then we talk more about the snowfall. We could see about a foot or more of snow coming down for Sequoia. Of course, this is going to help to get that actually in the bank for potentially more drinking water. Now, this may not sound like a lot, but every little bit helps. And of course, I mean, we're not going to see a big impact in next week's drought monitor out of this, but keep it coming.
But remember the pictures we saw of the mountains when they were measuring the snowpack and they were standing on dry ground?
The last of the season. And then, what, 2 weeks later?
Yeah, but let's just hope, that even this is good stuff. Hey, over the next couple of months, Is your town amazing? Is your town more
Every
than
town's
amazing?
amazing.
Is it incredible? Is it one of America's best communities? Well, we're going to recognize them right here on the Weather Channel, like Lake Havasu City, Arizona. So let us know. Lake Havasu, this is gorgeous. So take a look at this.
That's a gorgeous shot.
Yeah,
I want to go.
Sits on the eastern shore of Lake Havasu. It's home, did you know this?
No.
To the London Bridge. You remember the bridge of the nursery rhyme?
Yeah.
Well, the bridge was bought by a businessman and it was transported from London to Lake Havasu more than 40 years ago. It's now one of the most popular tourist destinations in the state. But you can see just how beautiful it is. Why don't we go
And
there?
you always see so many like boats and people going underneath the bridge. I wonder if it's a romantic spot.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Once I get swimsuit ready, we'll go.
Yes.
Okay.
You've got a long way to go. All right, well, let's look at the forecast for Lake Havasu. And everybody's laughing because this is the man who helps me count my tater tots. Today, we're looking at 84 degrees, windy conditions out there. Rain coming on Friday. Yes, you need that, but Saturday and Sunday, beautiful day to go out to Lake Havasu and break out the Speedo. If you're Speedo ready.
If you're Speedo ready. And you're not eating tater tots right now as we speak. Okay. 2 tornado reports in Texas yesterday. We've got to get on to this today. We're talking about those. No damage from the one you're looking at, Guthrie.
Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. The seal you can trust with stain and sealer in one and easy to choose colors. Exceptional beauty and protection have never been easier. Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. Available at the Home Depot.
It's a beautiful day to use Thompson's Water Seal.
Are you sending your kids to school with an allergy medicine that may make them drowsy? Only Children's Claritin provides non-drowsy 24-hour allergy relief.
And it's the #1 pediatrician recommended non-drowsy brand.
In class and out, your kids can live Claritin Clear.
Unbelievable. Toenail fungus? Seriously?
Smash it with Jublia. Jublia is a prescription medicine proven to treat toenail fungus. Use Jublia as instructed by your doctor.
Look at the footwork.
Most common side effects include ingrown toenail, application site redness, itching, swelling, burning or stinging, blisters, and pain. Smash it!
Make the call and ask your doctor if Jublia is right for you.
New larger size, now available.
When it comes to good nutrition, I'm no expert. That would be my daughter.
Hi, Dad.
She's a dietitian. And back when I wasn't eating right, she got me drinking Boost. It's got a great taste, and it helps give me the nutrition I was missing, helping me stay more like me.
Boost Complete Nutritional Drink has 26 essential vitamins and minerals, including calcium and vitamin D to support strong bones, and 10 grams of protein to help maintain muscle, all with a delicious taste. Grandpa! Stay strong, stay active with Boost.
Think the tree we carved our names in is still here?
That's probably dead.
How much fun is this?
What?
What a beautiful sunset.
If you like sunsets.
Whether you're sweet or salty, you'll love Nature Valley Sweet and Salty Bars.
As the host of a popular home improvement show, I know a lot about finding a great contractor for home repairs and improvement projects. Now there's HomeAdvisor.com, a free service that matches your project to top local service professionals.
We didn't have to do any work other than say what we needed.
Just 1, 2, 3, I found my guy and everything was smooth.
And it's always free to use.
We've had nothing but fabulous every single time.
Go to HomeAdvisor.com now to get started on your next project.
HomeAdvisor. Time to sweat, boys. Big time. Let's get this thing right. This is my one shot.
I have made fire!
Fat Guys in the Woods. The new season starts June 7th, only on the Weather Channel.
Hi, I'm Brandon, a Florida Public Utilities energy expert. So, what's the secret for enjoying endless hot water and still saving on your energy bills at home? Don't go anywhere. We'll have the answer in just a moment.
If you're not happy with how your allergy medicine treats your congestion, rethink relief with Nasacort Allergy 24-Hour. Unlike antihistamines that target only one cause of your symptoms, Nasacort stops more, relieving the worst nasal allergy symptoms, even congestion, for 24 hours. It's non-addictive and has no harsh taste, and unlike Flonase, it's scent and alcohol-free. And it's available over-the-counter at full prescription strength. Rethink your relief with Nasacort. It stops more of what makes you miserable.
Did you know that instead of heating and storing water when you don't need it, natural gas tankless water heaters work solely on demand? This means a never-ending supply of hot water and energy savings that are just as endless. Conserve energy with a natural gas tankless and get up to a $675 cash rebate.
It was right on top of us, and then it hit.
took it to the edge, didn't give up.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Low 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
"19 minutes after the hour right now. Take a look at this. And when you see this, this does not look good. This is new video this morning out of Guthrie, Texas. That tornado, well, actually started as a funnel cloud, then made connection with the ground and just plowed right on yesterday.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous shot, but I don't like the look of it. Yeah, you can see, look at that. You can see you can see the rain on the left-hand side of it as well. Eyewitnesses describe this one moving right along the Wichita River.
Yeah, and the funnel dropping and basically taking full shape. You can see right near, I see it incredible there. You see people out there chasing. This was near the Four Sixes Ranch area. Luckily, no report of damage. This is why we can kind of geek out on this, because we know it was an open land and nothing was damaged there. But two tornadoes reported in Texas last night.
Yeah, and Greg, that's exactly where you want them to be. Out in the big open fields where you can look at them and watch them and just kind of the awe of the power of it all.
Yeah, and hopefully they miss cows also.
Yeah.
I mean, because we want to save the cows.
We want everybody to be safe.
Everybody, every living thing.
Everything.
So, you know what, we're going to see more pictures like that. I think we'll see a lot of video this weekend of tornadoes in the high plains. And if you do have pictures, please send them to us, because you know I'll show them. You know we will here too. But let's have a look at the areas that are going to be outlined for the severe weather, beginning probably ramping up significantly tomorrow. There's that area shaded in red. All modes of severe weather are possible. Hail, high winds, tornadoes. Of course, the heavy rain, they need it out there. But look, Saturday, also, the area grows in coverage all the way from the northern plains down through Texas highlands. Let's have a look at some of the ingredients that will be in play to help trigger the thunderstorms. There's a lot of stuff on this map, and some of them may be familiar. We'll have a warm front up here. That will help get storms going up in here. There's a low pressure there. That sort of we know helps get storms going, bringing some rising motion near it. But also, look at this thing. This little mustard-colored squiggly line, that's called a dry line. That's going to be a prominent player this weekend in initiating thunderstorm development, both Friday and Saturday at least. There's what it does. It separates very humid air to the east. These are dew points on Friday afternoon. The very humid air out here from the much drier air that is sometimes desert-like to the west. So that zone of contrast is the dry line, and that is a great place to initiate thunderstorm activity, and here's why. Here's an explainer. Oftentimes, a dry line looks like this. This is sort of a generic picture, but the idea is there it is, separating the warm moist flow coming out of that way from the dry flow coming out of that way. You might think immediately, okay, I see two air streams coming together. That must mean the air goes up. Sometimes it does, but not always. But in this case, definitely, because in addition to that, we also have a little bit of a density contrast between the hot, dry air here and the cooler, moist air to the east. There's sort of a sea breeze that sets up. Familiar if you go to the beach in the afternoon, you can see the clouds building up just inland a little bit, and the air off the water comes inland to meet that rising air. That's kind of what you're seeing in here, but in Texas, it's an inland sea breeze. So what you got is some rising motion here, and underneath that, air rushes in to fill the void. So you get convergence, right, along that zone. So that convergence can sometimes pop convection, thunderstorm activity right along and near it, depending on certain conditions. But you know what? Some of the conditions that will be in play this weekend will allow some of those storms to become severe. Here's a generic picture of what it looks like on the satellite, and I think we'll see a lot of this weekend. Maybe not so clearly identified, but this is a perfect example. There is the dry line Play I Spy the dry line. Thunderstorms, you spot it? Thunderstorms along it with the moist air coming that way and the dry air coming that way, and that is the zone, and we'll see a lot of that, I think, this weekend, Friday and Saturday, where tornadoes are a real possibility. Guys, back to you.
All right, nothing gets his blood boiling like a density confrontation.
It's a solenoidal circulation, really. It's based on the diabatic heating gradients.
Oh, wow. And
there you go.
that just makes my day right there. Nothing makes me. Hey, do you have one of these? This could be a big deal if you're trying to get through a natural disaster. We're going to talk to CNET about things like that.
Heartburn.
Did someone say burn? Try Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews. They work just as fast and are proven to taste better than Tums Smoothies assorted fruit.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
Who says desirable can't also be responsible? With 46 standard safety features, the Lexus RX is proof that fun can be good for you. This is the pursuit of perfection.
If you're an adult with type 2 diabetes and your A1C is not at goal with certain diabetes pills or daily insulin, your doctor may be talking about adding medication to help lower your A1C. Ask your doctor if adding once-a-week Tanzium is right for you. Once-a-week Tanzium is an injectable prescription medicine that may improve blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes, along with diet and exercise. Once-a-week Tanzium works by helping your body release its own natural insulin when it's needed. Tanzium is not recommended as the first medicine to treat diabetes or in people with severe stomach or intestinal problems. Tanzium is not insulin. It is not used to treat type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis and has not been studied with mealtime insulin. Do not take Tanzium if you or your family have a history of medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you're allergic to Tanzium or any of its ingredients. Stop using Tanzium and call your doctor right away if you experience symptoms of an allergic reaction, which may include itching, rash, or difficulty breathing. If you have signs of pancreatitis, such as severe stomach pain that will not go away and may move to your back, with or without vomiting. Or if you have symptoms of thyroid cancer, which include a lump or swelling in your neck, hoarseness, trouble swallowing, or shortness of breath. Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medicines you're taking. And if you're nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Taking Tanzium with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases your risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects with Tanzium include diarrhea, nausea, injection site reactions, cough, back pain, and cold or flu symptoms. Some serious side effects can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney failure. Ask your doctor if adding once a week Tanzium is right for you. Go to Tanzium.com to learn if you may be eligible to receive Tanzium free for 12 months. Make every week a Tanzium week.
Announcing Easy Rest's Win-A-Bed sweepstakes. Call now for 6 free chances to win an Easy Rest adjustable bed.
With heat and built-in massage?
That's right.
And anyone can win?
Absolutely anyone. Just pick up your phone and make this toll-free call to be automatically entered 6 different times into the Easy Rest sweepstakes. There's absolutely no obligation. So call to win this electrically adjustable bed in the size of your choice now.
There's no cost?
No cost.
And no obligation?
None.
So what's the catch?
There's no catch. We're giving away an adjustable bed every month in order to promote the health benefits of this modern way to rest and sleep. To get our free catalog by mail and 6 free chances to win, call now. So what are you waiting for? There's no cost, no catch, no obligation. Call now for your 6 free chances to win an Easy Rest adjustable bed.
Call now, 1-800-974-9731. That's 1-800-974-9731.
Time to sweat, boys. Big time. Let's get this thing right. This is my one shot.
I have made fire!
Fat Guys in the Woods. The new season starts June 7th, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Low 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It was right on top of us. And then it hit. And we took it to the edge. Didn't give up.
And good Thursday morning, 29 minutes past the hour. I'm Jen Delgado.
Hi,
and that's
I'm Sam. I sometimes forget who I am.
He's Dr. Greg Postel.
Dr. Greg Postel, yes.
Yeah. Boy, has this been a morning for, we've had all kinds of video, flooding video, rain to run. We've got
Cool
more coming
starts.
this weekend. Cool temperature starts into the northeast this morning. If weather calms down, we haven't seen it yet.
No, and it's going to get even more active.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the next couple of days are going to be, you're going to need to stay tuned to the Weather Channel because we will have the coverage for severe weather for you all weekend long, really beginning in earnest tomorrow, Friday. So watch out in the plains. And it's not just the high plains. It's going to be beginning to move out across more populated areas, getting close to the Great Lakes by Sunday.
Yeah, so we'll start, there'll be a big day tomorrow for us right here on AMHQ, and then we'll start ramping it up. Hey, here's some of the cities we're watching this morning, Jeff.
Yeah, Chicago right now 52 degrees. Guess what? And as you head later into the afternoon, now models are picking up a little bit sooner, but right there we're showing you 8 o'clock tonight. But don't be surprised if you see something arriving right around 5 o'clock. Today, you're going to be, as I said, a little bit cooler out there. Your temperatures are still going to be in the 60s.
All right, hello Denver, good morning. We'd like to just say let's get it going in Denver. We're 49 degrees right now. It's going to be about 30 degrees warmer than it was, yesterday, I guess. Here's the look, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Denver today, much better in the way of sky conditions than by the time we get to Friday and Saturday. You're actually going to be one of the players. When we wake up tomorrow on AMHQ, we're going to be talking about your storms headed into the weekend as well. Big picture.
A lot of big stuff out there, and you're right. We're going to be looking at a good amount of rainfall out there. In fact, you can even see what's been happening across parts of the Midwest. We've seen the rain coming down from Texas, now making its way up towards the north. And look at the West Coast actually getting into some rain, and it's going to be picking up. And we're going to be looking at some snow as we go through today and tomorrow. But we start off right now showing you how the storms, they're going to be now moving up towards the north. We'll see it for areas including parts of the Midwest as well as into the plains. We're talking to you for areas like Minneapolis, some areas to the south of Iowa. They could pick up about an inch of rainfall through tomorrow. Second story that we're watching. This is actually our severe weather outbreak. You heard Dr. Greg Postel hinting with it. What we're going to be looking at is activity really developing right along the dry line. This is Friday as well as through Sunday. Could be looking at some tornadoes out there as well as some hail and some damaging winds. And then the third story. Yes, we are so happy to see this activity. Some very late rainfall and even snow coming down for parts of California. Sierras, this is making the skiers happy, but what we're going to see, some of this rain in some of these locations, 1 to 2 inches in the southern parts of California. The only negative side, this is going to be our fuel for severe weather as we head through the upcoming weekend.
Yeah, I'd like it to linger a little bit longer right there, right off the coast of California.
Take some of the energy out of it, right.
Exactly, just linger a little while. Hey, but let's get caught on the top news stories of the day today, and there are a lot of them. Ana Ritis Rodriguez is live from Aubrey, Texas this morning.
Good morning, Sam. Good morning to you at home. We begin in the Mid-Atlantic. Our headlines with new information on that derailment in Philadelphia. Federal investigators clocking that train at 106 miles an hour just before it flew off the rails. That's more than double the speed limit for that section of curved track. Investigators don't yet know if speed alone caused the accident. They've got to check the brake and alarm systems. That crash killed 7 people and injured 140 others. In the meantime, a lightning bolt hits 2 roofers working on a house in Bonita Springs, Florida. Relatives say one man is fine, the other in stable condition.
He was unresponsive. I mean, he had his clothes were blown off of him. He's got a giant hole in the top of his hat that's burnt. The side of his face was just, burnt.
The man hit on the head by the lightning went into cardiac arrest. Paramedics revived him with CPR. And out west, some lanes on the 57 freeway in Fullerton, California, still partially closed for this morning's commute. This after a 9-vehicle smash-up left one person dead during the afternoon rush hour on Wednesday. Those are your headlines for this hour. And we continue our coverage live here from Aubrey, Texas, along the banks of the Ray Roberts Lake, which officials here, flood control officials, have opened the floodgates, trying to release some of that overflow after this week's rainfall.
Yeah, Ana Maria Rodriguez at the center of the incredible weather headlines that have been coming out of Texas this week. Right now, take a look at this map. Chances of a natural disaster happening are pretty high in every region of this country. They've lined it out by where it's more likely that you'll see risks in the yellow, also in the orange area. And of course, when you see that coastline area, you're talking about the possibility of hurricanes as well in that area. The best defense for you and your family about getting through one of these disasters is to have a plan. You hear us say that all the time, but let's give you some new information. So how can technology help you stay safe? And are there things you need to put your hands on right now to get you through a disaster that may be waiting around the corner for you and your family? CNET senior editor Bridget Carey is with us now live. Hey, Bridget, this is a great topic. I mean, in the tease, they had me hold this, which they said everybody has, but I don't know what this is. So I'm holding, is this a battery charger for a computer? What is that?
Okay. A spare battery to recharge your cell phones is essential. I'm someone who grew up in Miami. I'm familiar with being out of power after hurricanes for a while.
Yeah.
This backup battery is, they come in all shapes and sizes, all different price ranges. So you have to do your homework to see what you want and what you need. But you can get one for as little as $10 to give you one full recharge on your cell phone, or shop around on Amazon. I've seen one from Rav Power that you can get 5 recharges for as little as $40.
Whoa.
So it's one of those things where you have to charge it before the storm comes, obviously, but it's a lifesaver because it's just so easy. You plug it in with your phone and it recharges it.
All right, now we're always talking about things like, hey, gather up your water, and hey, grab some batteries, and those things are important. But what are the tech secrets that you guys have that you can share with us that now that tech is more and more important in our lives?
Well, aside from the battery you were holding, I would say before a storm, charge up your laptop, because that also is a backup battery. You can get a few cell phone recharges out of your laptop as long as you don't use it during the storm. And you want to think about backing up your files. You don't typically think about backing up your files for a computer, but if you lose your computer, you don't want to lose important files. And you also maybe want to keep some important documents on a thumb drive. So if you have to get out of town, you at least can just grab a thumb drive and you have what you need on there. And when it comes to things that you may not realize, a lot of times you see maybe something that is a hand crank recharger. Don't count on those hand crank rechargers to get you anything good.
No, because
when it comes to solar rechargers.
Yeah,
I would say solar rechargers are a little complicated. They take a lot of patience. To get one full recharge on your phone, it may take full direct sunlight for 5 or 10 hours. So that one takes patience. But if you're going to have to perhaps evacuate an area, have a GPS in your car.
This was
one less thing you have to worry
Bridget,
about.
I thought this was so interesting that you put this on the list, because I didn't think of it. But I'll tell you, every time I've seen like an EF5 move through, it wipes away everything. So if you come out of your storm shelter and you can move around, you have no way of knowing all your landmarks in your town, and the street signs are gone and everything's gone. So the GPS, or a GPS, it's a great idea, and I hadn't even thought about it till you mentioned it there, right there. So
it's one less thing you have to worry about. And also, if you have to get in touch with family members, you're going to want to text them. Don't call, because not only is everyone trying to call everyone when there's something going on, or the cell phone towers can just get overwhelmed, your calls will be dropped, your internet access will be hard to get through. But texting is a whole different pipeline. If you send a text, and a lot of people are sending texts, it'll just wait its turn to get to where it's going. So maybe a little late, but it'll get there.
Right, absolutely. Great. Another great little tip. You're full of them today. Let's also talk about this locate your family thing quickly. On Facebook, I guess it is. I've never used it, but it can help after a storm.
Yes, Facebook is rolling out something. A lot of people go to their social media to let their family and friends know that they're okay after something happens. But now Facebook's rolling out something called a safety check. So if something happens, you log on to Facebook, it's going to pop up with a button saying, we see in your area something's going down. Do you want to let people know that you're okay? And you can just hit a quick button. But also there are family tracking apps that are good any time of the year.
Bridget Carey, great tips.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Low 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Lennox makes the most energy-efficient system you can find, which means the appliance you use the most will also save you the most.
For more information, contact your local Lennox dealer.
I have type 2 diabetes. I started with pills, and now I take a long-acting insulin at night.
I take mine in the morning. I was trying to eat right, stay active, but I wasn't reaching my A1C goal anymore.
My doctor says diabetes changes over time. It gets harder to control blood sugar spikes after I eat and get to goal.
My doctor added Novolog at mealtime for additional control. Now I know. Novolog is a fast-acting injectable insulin, and it works together with my long-acting insulin. Proven effective. The mealtime insulin doctors prescribe most. Available in FlexPen.
Novolog is used to control high blood sugar in adults and children with diabetes. Take Novolog as directed. Eat a meal within 5 to 10 minutes after injection. Check your blood sugar levels. Do not take Novolog if your blood sugar is too low or you're allergic to any of its ingredients. Tell your doctor about all medical conditions and medicines you take. Ask your doctor about alcohol use, operating machinery, or driving. The most common side effect is low blood sugar. Symptoms may include dizziness, sweating, confusion, and headache. Severe low blood sugar can be life-threatening. Other common side effects include low potassium in your blood and injection site reactions. Get medical help right away if you experience trouble with breathing, serious allergic reactions like swelling of your face, tongue, or throat, sweating, extreme drowsiness, dizziness, or confusion.
Now I know about Novolog, taken by millions since 2001.
Ask your healthcare provider about adding Novolog. It can help provide the additional control you may need.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
What's with the stash?
Oh, I'm a Blast Scout.
What are all these for?
Yeah, they're all for different things. This one's for eating a blast.
Oh, cool.
This one's for getting someone to buy me a blast.
What's that one for?
That one's covering up a hole.
Tons of surprising Master Blast flavor combos you're sure to love. This is how you Sonic.
I got red dirt stains on my boots and jeans, calloused fingers from my guitar strings, wild like the wind in the tall pine trees. I got roots and I got wings.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
And welcome back to AMHQ, 42 minutes past the hour. How about two views this morning? You see the clouds across Los Angeles. They're going to continue to thicken. We're going to see some rain coming there. And then how about this one? Yosemite National Park. So you get two different cities. Maybe you can't go on vacation right now. This is sort of your pseudo vacation.
Yeah, just enjoy it. Enjoy it with us.
And we're going to see rain and snow in parts of California. That's some good news for the drought.
All right. I also think we have a live camera up, and I think we're going to discover it together. Do we have it? Do we, huh? Do we, huh? What?
We just did it. did.
Yeah, but I thought there was another one. I didn't know that. All right. Well, let's talk about the much-needed rain that's moving into California. We had those showers just also off of the Bay Area there in San Francisco, starting to work on in. Crystal, by the way, you just tweeted a pretty awesome picture, by the way. And you were just doing a Periscope just before you got here. So I'm catching up with Crystal all the time. What is this of?
Oh, there it is. That was my tweet, right?
Yeah.
Storm brewing in Long Beach. So this is the Long Beach Harbor, and you can see the storm clouds just offshore. We have no rain right here. So what I'm telling our viewers is the drive into work, which we know is a very busy one here in Southern California, is dry for now. That's going to be changing as we head throughout the day. I love this pattern change. This is the second week in a row we've had rain here in California. Reminder of how deep we are into this drought. 3 months ago, we were at 32% exceptional drought. We are now at 47%. So things have only gotten worse. We're heading out of our wet season. So to get rain in May is such a bonus, especially 2 weeks in a row. And a lot of areas, Sam, are going to exceed the average rainfall by at least an inch or two. We haven't done that in a very long time.
Wow, very good news.
This is the wettest storm for Southern California since December, believe it or not.
Whoa.
So we have, for the Southern California area, we have the first wave coming today. Here's the second one for Friday. I have projected rainfall amounts of 1 to 2, even 2.5 inches. We're going to have to watch the burn scars closely. This will be cold enough to bring snow. So a little late, but the snow is coming back to the Sierra. In fact, there's a big race here, Sam, the Amgen race. It's the Tour of California. It was supposed to be in Big Bear tomorrow for stage 6, and they've had to move it down into Santa Clarita because it's going to be snowing in Big Bear.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that in Big Bear when there's a little bit of snow, but that's all good news. Hey, Crystal, let me ask you this. I know you were talking about the burn scars, but I was just, concerned here. It's been so dry that a lot of the vegetation doesn't have deep roots. So are you guys watching all the hills in California for what could be kind of like a loosening of that ground if you don't have the vegetation to hold it?
Yeah, absolutely. Even though it rained last week, it wasn't as widespread or as heavy as we're expecting this time. So it doesn't take much, Sam, to kind of move the earth, We just need a little bit on that parched drought ground, and we could see some minor mud and debris flows.
I know.
So we're going to watch all those areas.
Yep, and I know folks will be watching you for the latest information as we do. Thank you, Crystal. Appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow. Hey, let's talk a little bit to Jen about what's going on in the Midwest. That line of rain still very active this morning.
Yeah, still active and coming down, and it's going to pick up in activity as we go throughout the day for areas like Chicago, as well as even into parts of Indianapolis. As we show you what's happening right now, the rain moving through Kansas City. You had a little bit of lightning trying to peek out through the central part of Kansas, and then you go up towards Minneapolis. Right now, you're starting to see some light showers there. It started off at St. Paul, Sioux Falls, as well as really over just to the west of Lake La Crosse. And then we look at St. Louis. This is Interstate 64. There's 70, and you can see the rain just really kind of hampering the commute this morning. But the good news is we're not looking at anything severe out there, just that nice spring shower activity. All that moisture just keeps on surging in, and this is all that rain that was actually across parts of Texas. So as we look ahead, we could see in some of these spots picking up about 1 inch of rain. This area here also dealing with a bit of a drought. Not as exceptional as what we've seen across California and Texas, but certainly they need the rainfall. Minneapolis, Des Moines, you've got rain in your forecast and some thunderstorms out there as we go through tonight. Notice it moves into Chicago, Marquette, as well as just sweeping over to parts of the Great Lakes. And then here comes tomorrow and into Saturday, still holding on to some rain. The whole weekend really is setting up for really kind of a wet conditions. Notice that severe weather threat starting to creep into the west as we look into the early part of the weekend. As we go through, we're going to be looking at anywhere between 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. Some of these spots may pick up about 2 inches. Over to you, Sam.
All right, Jen, I know they're glad you pointed out their drought situation as well, and keeping an eye on that. 10 minutes away from now, we get Weather Center Live. Chris and Jen, what you got? What's going on?
Yeah, no, we're talking about the drought. Actually, it's been a huge story, of course, and the big changes coming out of Texas. We're going to talk to the guy who authors the Drought Monitor about, a lot of things, actually.
But try to really get some perspective, because the exceptional drought now in Texas is gone. And keep in mind, you have abnormally dry, the yellow, then you have moderate, you have severe, you have extreme, but exceptional is the worst. So we're going to talk about that and get some perspective on this.
All right, yeah, and those pictures will be interesting to see. We'll be right back.
Are you sending your kids to school with an allergy medicine that may make them drowsy? Only Children's Claritin provides non-drowsy 24-hour allergy relief.
And it's the #1 pediatrician-recommended non-drowsy brand.
In class and out, your kids can live Claritin Clear.
When you're waiting for summer, every second feels like an eternity. So when it finally arrives, make every second count on a Sea-Doo watercraft. At the Countdown to Summer sales event, get up to a 5-year warranty or save up to $1,000.
In a matter of seconds, your life can change.
With kids still in school.
And it just hit us.
This was it.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program is back.
Things were just going everywhere. It was a nightmare. And then it was silent.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Low 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Let's do this. We start here, talk to her, pick up some of that, a few of those. Okay, a lot of those. Then dirt, plants, water, just a little time, and then boom. Spring. Big time. Let's do this. Toro days are here, and so are big savings. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Doers. They don't worry if something's possible. They just do it. At Sears Optical, we're committed to bringing them eyewear that works as hard as they do. Right now, save up to $200 on eyeglasses. Quality eyewear for doers. Sears Optical.
Are you still getting heartburn flare-ups? Time for a new routine. Try Nexium 24-Hour, the latest choice for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Nexium Level Protection.
Why do we do it? Why do we spend every waking moment thinking about people? Why are we so committed to keeping you connected? Why combine performance with a conscience? Why innovate for a future without accidents? Why do any of it? Why do all of it? Because if it matters to you, it's everything to us. The XC60 crossover from Volvo. Lease the well-equipped Volvo XC60 today. Visit your local Volvo showroom for details.
Xfinity sales professionals are always on the go, meeting new people every day. They're helping families get the latest Xfinity products and services. And they're making customers happy. Jumpstart your career with the best sales training in the industry. Great benefits like discounts on your own Xfinity services and the potential for high earnings. Have what it takes? Apply today and see what doors open for you.
Nutrition Smart wants you to be smart with your nutrition. Save more this month with 20% off Thursdays. That's right, get 20% off store-wide every Thursday this month. Shop the latest in organic fruits and vegetables, the largest selection of vitamins and supplements, and a variety of natural health and beauty supplies. Be smart at Nutrition Smart. Opposite side from Publix next to ABC Liquors in Palm Beach Gardens. Nutrition Smart.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program,
And it just hit us.
is back.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
50. Wow. It's like there was
It's
no
just
music.
like
it was
no
like
music, it's
It was like the
silence.
cymbals and the sound, and it threw me.
You're like, are we on TV? We are. Good morning.
Is she here?
Yeah.
Is
she here? Are you here?
All right, let's show you the pictures that came into us. Because this sometimes after an event happens, video comes back that you haven't seen yet. And I tell you, it brings it all to life. So a climber on Mount Everest is at base camp, getting ready for that final push to the summit. And suddenly, you'll remember we get that earthquake.
Yeah, the ground starts shaking, right?
Everything changes. These folks whip out their cell phone and they begin recording the scene. Here's what it looks like.
Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. Oh, look straight ahead. Holy shit. You need to go in the tents or what? That is look, look. Do we need to go in the tent? Do we need to go inside?
And they made it, though.
Yeah.
You know, that was the good news is even with all that snow and the avalanche, something protected them from that wall of snow right there, even getting into the tent. Because the tent
look at that.
No, and then you noticed you had some tables in there as well in that tent, but you need some type of protection when you're dealing with something like this.
Absolutely. The man who took the video said he didn't realize, because he, heard the rumble, felt the shake, didn't realize how severe the situation was.
You can
right
hear
then.
it in the tone of his voice. They're
Absolutely.
like, oh, okay, I'm feeling an earthquake.
Yeah, and
Then you
the
realize-
sound is normal, just like anyone would be. If we were standing there, I'd be like, hey, Jen, look at that. That's cool. That's awesome.
And you realize you were a part of the story.
All right, busy day. Let's get into what's going on in the middle of the country. I guess we're going to talk a little bit about typhoons as well, Dr. Greg.
Yeah, why not, Sam and Jen? Let's have a look at Typhoon Dolphin out in the West Pacific. It's going to be impacting Guam pretty soon in the next 24 to 48 hours. And this is the 7th named storm out here in the West Pacific, 7th named tropical system. So that is the earliest on record that we've seen 7 such named storms. Very busy time out there tropically, and we've got 105 mile per hour, equivalent of a Category 2 typhoon, hurricane, just the same name, just in a different part of the world. But let's have a look at this guy because it is going to be moving toward Guam. They're, of course, well prepared for and well equipped for dealing with tropical cyclones since they've been dealing with them since the beginning of time. But this is a very cool satellite picture. I wanted to show you this because I wanted to show you how tall the thunderstorms are. We talk about storms a lot here in the U.S. with severe weather having tops to 50,000 feet. This is now a satellite picture that's measuring the temperature out here in some of these cloud tops. And those white pixels that show up there, the temperature of the cloud top is minus 90 Celsius, and that equates to, with some back of the envelope calculations, about 65 to 70,000 feet. So these are huge, tall thunderstorms. The updrafts aren't so strong, but they're really tall, and they're producing a lot of rain and, of course, a lot of wind, and it's going to bring that to Guam very soon. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center, the center that has jurisdiction over tropical cyclones in this part of the world, has it going very close to Guam as a Cat 3. We'll see if that indeed is the case. I have a feeling it's a little bit less intense than some of the estimates based on the satellite pictures and some other things, but still pretty nasty system heading that way. Coming back home, let's look at the satellite pictures here at the high altitudes. I see a trough out there in the west. See that little swirly? That's our severe weather maker for the weekend, really beginning in earnest tomorrow across the Central Plains. Let's move this upper level low, this cold pocket aloft, and the strong winds around it. Let's move that eastward day by day, going to Saturday. There it is over the Central Plains, and it is going to be bringing all the ingredients that you need. High wind shear, enough instability, and we'll see on a weather map that looks like this, a lot of Gulf moisture coming northward. So we will have torcons out across the region, at least 4s and 5s across the Central Plains. There we have a 40% chance of a tornado in the northern plains, 50% farther south. It's not just Saturday, Sunday, everything moves farther east, even heading towards Chicago. Sam, back to you.
All right, Dr. Greg, we'll keep an eye on it. Okay.
Yes. So we looked at the severe weather threat and the tropics, and we still have more to talk about.
Well, we do, because Anna Rittis has been taking in all those images. She's live in Aubrey, Texas this morning, but every picture you've shown us, we've seen. A-Rod, what'd you pick?
Yeah, that's right. We love it when you send your pictures. You are our eyes out there. Flooding continues to be the big headline here in Texas. The first picture coming out of Austin. Look at all of that flooding. The people there are saying the rain may have stopped for a bit, but be careful with the runoff and the rising waters. You can go to drivetexas.org for a map of where the flooded roadways are. Chicago, good morning to you. Look at those beautiful tulips on Michigan Avenue. Thank you for that picture. And our last picture coming out of Georgia, Black Creek, Georgia. Someone taking the canoe out for a ride this morning. A foggy start to your morning.
Yeah.
We'd love to see you here on AMHQ. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a nice day.
Those are gorgeous images, A-Rod. All right, have an amazing day. Weather Center Live continues right now.
We'll see you later.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Low 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Everyone, thanks for joining us here on Weather Center Live. I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno.
And I'm meteorologist Chris Warner. It's Thursday and the weekend right around the corner, getting very close here, but severe storms certainly could cause some major problems and potentially for millions of people. Big threat this weekend.
A lot of the same people as last weekend, too. We're going to detail who is on alert for this weekend, severe weather. We're going to break down the threat. We'll take you day by day. We'll take a look at the risks, too, for each day. And there are some folks that have a chance, a 50% chance of seeing a tornado. We'll talk through that as well.
And was it enough? The latest drought numbers are in after a week of torrential rain. We're going to break down some progress for some of the southern plains, including Texas.
And we're going to see who is in store for some spring rain showers today. Got a live look right now at the windy city of Chicago. Not too windy out there, actually, and actually a fairly nice day to start. But clouds will come back, rain will come back as well, and Chris is timing it out.
Yeah, nice looking right now in Chicago, but you notice those clouds, Jen. We're looking at the map. This is Chicago. Here's Lake Michigan, and then right over here, just hanging around Cedar Rapids and not quite to Davenport yet. Now we're looking at that rain eventually going to be moving into Chicago. But right now, it's dry if you're going for a run along the lake early on. Here is that rain right now, and you can see it starting to sneak in, this whole thing going in this direction. So kind of more of a northerly and northeasterly direction, depending on which part of this band of rain that you are on, where it's going here. St. Louis right now, it's in town. The rain with you right now in St. Louis, and we are dealing with more rain as well south of Minneapolis. La Crosse, Wisconsin, not quite to you yet. Des Moines, you are dealing with some of that rain. It's not the heaviest of rain, but certainly making things a little damp on this Thursday morning. Today, you're going to have rain. There will be some thunderstorms in here as well. More of the rain throughout parts of Wisconsin into Michigan for tonight. And looking through tomorrow, chance for some storms all the way over into parts of western Pennsylvania and parts of upstate New York, and still going to see some wet weather throughout Michigan. This is a look right now for Chicago and the timing for that rain. It's well off, so we're looking not until later on in the evening hours to really get the majority of the rain to move in for you. And so going through tomorrow, most of the rain happening during the overnight hours. Jen?
Speaking of rain, guess who we're talking about rain for today? Yeah, Los Angeles. Believe it or not, LA, these clouds are going to thicken up and eventually bring some showers to us through the day today. I know it's surprising. It's definitely a bonus to get some rain in May. And for you in Los Angeles, throughout much of Southern California, you don't worry about rain on too many days of the year, right? You don't even worry about the weather. But today you need to, because we may even see some thunderstorms in the area. You know, let's take a look at Los Angeles and a forecast for us. It's May, and we don't often have anything more than 0 in our forecast rainfall amounts, but we're going to pick up maybe closer to a ½ inch today, closer to a ¼ inch tomorrow, and then we're going to dry out, of course, by the weekend. But down towards San Diego, we've got better chances of seeing more than a ½ inch, both today and tomorrow. And overnight, too, there's going to be some rain in between as well. So here's what's going to happen for us. We've got a widespread area of 1+ inch worth of rain over the next 2 days here across Southern California. A couple of showers to start. There may be a few thunderstorms out there, and we are going to see some Sierra snow and down even towards the San Gabriels. The chance for some snow snow as well. Yes, it's a little postseason for us, right? We expect the winter rains. This is a spring rain, and we will get it here with some cooler temperatures as well. Here comes the bigger batch of rain as we get you into Friday early morning. We'll see more rain again, perhaps for the morning commute. Not today. LA, your commute is fine, but tomorrow morning that will be a different story with showers out there all the way down through San Diego. And we will be watching for the rain continue to move on in through the morning into the afternoon today. So the ride home today could be a wet one as well. We got the showers out there on the move in. Here's the big dip in the jet stream. And Chris, the interesting thing is this rain in Southern California, the energy behind it is going to feed right back into what we're expecting in the plains this weekend.
All right, so you look at that swirl right there, that area. Saturday and Sunday, here it is. That's going to be one of the main instigators for that severe weather threat that we're watching. One of the ingredients we're also looking at, a lot of this Gulf moisture, this deep moisture being pulled north. Then, of course, you have the dry line cold front and the warm front associated with it, all leading to the threat for tornadoes. This is our exclusive TORCOM, the Tornado Condition Index here for the Weather Channel, and North Platte, Nebraska, Omaha, and Madison, Wisconsin, all on the TORCON. Here's a look Friday afternoon. Your TORCON's going to be a 4 in North Platte. So think about this, 4 out of 10. That's a 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of North Platte. Saturday afternoon, Omaha, Nebraska, Council Bluffs, Omaha area, within 50 miles of you, there's a 50% chance of a tornado. Now keep in mind, if you're outside of that 50-mile range, it's every point. So even on some of the suburbs in that area, it's 50 miles from where you are in Omaha. Now on to Sunday afternoon, it's a 3 out of 10 in Madison, Wisconsin. So there is that tornado threat that we are watching. This is a look at the map for tomorrow. Chance for some strong storms in red from the panhandle of Texas into Oklahoma, all the way up into Nebraska and parts of South Dakota. Looking at that TORCON, here it is on the map. So look at the region. If you're in this region, South Central South Dakota, if you're in that region, any point in that region, 3 out of 10 chance. 4 out of 10 chance, any point in central Nebraska there. And then for central Kansas and western Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle, a 3 out of 10. This is for tomorrow, and that threat does increase for some areas on Saturday. This is a look at the severe threat, bigger area now as we look all the way down just about to the Mexico border, all the way up into parts of Minnesota. And as we look at the numbers right here, 4 out of 10 for eastern South Dakota. Also looking at, here you go, a 5 out of 10, Jen. So increasing tornado threat going into the weekend.
All right, so let's talk about the rain too, because we had flooding rain last weekend. We had flooding rain the last couple of days. This is Nueces County, where drivers had to maneuver through flooded streets. Now this week so far, we've had more than a ½ foot of rain. It's been so much water that the Oso Creek is about 5 feet above flood stage, and roads are closed in that area. And although we'll get a break for a day or two, we got showers and storms back in the forecast this weekend. So let's look at Texas and Oklahoma and Arkansas. More than a foot or 1.5 feet of rain fell right along the Red River Valley area over this past weekend into this week, last 7 days, actually throughout the month of May. So let's go ahead and take a look at the areas that we are now concerned about for thunderstorms, and that's here across Texas, possibly again today. Let's take you in, though, to the areas that have been dealing with the drought. The new drought monitor is in as of this morning, and there is a big change, a big improvement in Texas. There are no areas now in that worst drought category, the exceptional drought.
Well, we're going to break down those colors and get some insight from the person who authors that report coming up a little bit later.
Constipated? Dulcolax tablets can cause cramps, but not Phillips. It has magnesium and works more naturally than stimulant laxatives for gentle, cramp-free relief of occasional constipation.
That works.
Live the regular life. Phillips.
Meet Kyle. You name it. Dust, pollen,
and pet dander.
He's allergic to it.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service to be certified asthma and allergy friendly, eliminating an average of 94% of common household allergens like dust, pollen, and pet dander for a cleaner, healthier home.
Goodbye, Mr. Steamer.
Bye, Kyle.
Call now about our $99 carpet cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
Think the tree we carved our names in is still here?
That's probably dead.
How much fun is this?
What?
What a beautiful sunset.
If you like sunsets.
Whether you're sweet or salty, you'll love Nature Valley Sweet and Salty Bars.
When you shop for furniture, you don't have to wonder how the fabrics, leathers, and options will look. At LazyBoy.com, you can see it before you order it.
What about red? It's perfect. Not quite. There we go. Lazy-Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
It's nearly Memorial Day, so hurry into Lowe's for these great deals, like up to 30% off select major appliances, $3.96 and more. Plus, select perennials now 3 for $10. So before this Memorial Day, come to Lowe's and enjoy special savings.
Weather. So we build things to harness it.
This is about how far you can push yourself.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy sky. Friday, partly cloudy. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Tomorrow morning, storm, soak, repeat. The severe threat ramping up in time for the weekend. We're tracking the storms from Texas to the Great Lakes. Wake up with Alan, AMHQ, tomorrow morning at 5, only on the Weather Channel.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed. You picked a beautiful ring. Thank you. We're never having kids.
Breathe. I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there. With its black tie style and green-minded smarts, it's easy to see why many consider Jeep Grand Cherokee to be the gold standard. One drive and you'll discover why the Jeep brand continues to be the best-selling SUV brand. Join us now during the Jeep Drive and Discover event. Get 0% financing on the 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most awarded SUV ever.
Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. The seal you can trust with stain and sealer in one and easy to choose colors. Exceptional beauty and protection have never been easier. Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. Available at the Home Depot.
This is Weather Center Live, and Jen, when you look at this, it's easy to imagine that parts of Texas have picked up double-digit rainfall this week.
I mean, these scenes are amazing for a spot that's been in exceptional drought for about 5 years, right? It fell in an area that needed the rain, and although you saw problems like this, the flooding, the rain in general was a good thing for the area. Ana Rodriguez is at Lake Ray Roberts, north of Dallas, where water levels are up more than a half a foot in just a week.
We're along the banks of Ray Roberts Lake in Denton County, Texas. This area has seen a foot of rain in the last 7 days. As a result, it's swollen the lake, and the Army Corps of Engineers has opened the floodgates, releasing water at a rate that could fill AT&T Stadium in 7 hours. This rain very beneficial for ranchers and farmers.
Best year we've had in the last 5 years.
Lush green fields now blanketing central Texas, a sign their long crippling drought may be retreating.
All the lakes I think are full now in North Texas. We hadn't had that in forever.
Lake Whitney south of Dallas now completely full. Before this week's deluge, it stood at 78% capacity, adding more than 6 feet of water in just 7 days. It's a stark contrast to what Texas lakes looked like just last year. But even 2014 didn't match the devastation of 2011, which rivaled the Dust Bowl of the 1930s.
Oh, it's hurt real bad.
These drops are turning that hurt into hope for ranchers at the Clifton Livestock Commission.
The mood around here has been wonderful lately. This time last year, I think for 2014, we had about an inch and a half of rain. Up until this point, we're right at about 16 inches since the 1st of January.
This rain's turned around. Everybody's restocking, getting their numbers back again.
For the first time in years, ranchers are looking to add cattle to herds, which may eventually push down cattle and beef prices. But ranchers in Central Texas aren't getting ahead of themselves. The only numbers they're watching are the rain gauge.
To tell you the truth, I've lost count of how much rain I've had.
Oh, I feel blessed and lucky both from the good Lord above.
The silver lining is that for the first time since 2012, Texas is not in an exceptional drought stage, but the flood threat still continues. Areas south of here, villages, neighborhoods south of here are being told to be on alert and be ready to evacuate at a moment's notice, especially if we see rain this weekend. Back to you.
And Ritis, thank you. And you could really hear in the voices of those men, you could hear how elated they were over this rainfall finally.
And just seeing some of that green.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Well, that doesn't happen in a day over. Like, you know, you won't get the grass to grow back in just a couple of days' rain. So there has been some steady progress, but all of a sudden, I think that's what filled up some of the reservoirs with this big deluge that we had.
And this is Lay Rake Roberts right here.
All right, so this is where Andrew Ritis is, and you can see the big improvement in just a couple of days. I mean, we go back to last Wednesday, a week later, and up significantly. So drought monitor, let's talk about that. And it should be, here we go, moving along. Big improvement since December, Chris.
Beginning of the year, right before New Year's, you see this red, this is either extreme or exceptional. So the worst of the worst drought. It doesn't get any worse than that. That's the most intense drought. But anywhere you see color, it's abnormally dry or in drought.
Right, exactly. And then we're going to fast forward this and go into, through the spring, through the winter, through the spring to now. And really, we were whittling away at it little bit by little bit. There wasn't a lot of improvement. And all of a sudden, big improvement.
Yeah, big improvement as of now. The drought monitor came out today, but it was 2 days ago when they started compiling the numbers.
But
so
the
any rainfall between the weekend
it.
Rain is the big thing.
Yeah,
yes.
And I think that's one of the key parts. The thing is, some of the reservoirs though back across the areas that are still in drought are still not at capacity or even close to half capacity. So there's still issues out there.
But you can also see how this goes along. This is all of the rain. So all the color on this map shows you where a lot of rain has come down. The oranges and the reds. Now the oranges and the reds here shows you the drought. So you have these oranges over those oranges, less orange here.
All right, well, we're going to talk more about this drought monitor coming up next. We've got the guy who authors this drought monitor to talk to us about what goes into it, we're thinking about it, and what it means for us as we look forward to the next rain.
Before Mars, before the moon, we did the impossible again and again. Live the future of space travel at Exploration Space, one of thousands of exciting things to explore at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex in Orlando. Always exploring.
New Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray. 24-hour relief that outperforms a leading allergy pill. Most allergy pills only control one inflammatory substance. Flonase controls 6. Sees the day and the night. New Flonase. 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
One of the Foot's favorite rituals happens at the water's edge. Here they must look their best. Smooth, beautiful skin is an advantage. The others can only hide in shame. Introducing the new Dr. Scholl's Dreamwalk Express Pedi.
1 can of Bush's beans. Home style sounds good, but country style not without its charms. Brown sugar hickory? Who says no to hickory? New sweet heat? Sure. There are no rules here.
Bush's Beans. What's your favorite flavor?
It can be hotter than Death Valley in your attic. But that's still not hot enough to sweat out bugs. Take these boxes. They're not only perfect for storing old yearbooks and pictures.
You find something?
They're also a perfect food source and nesting material for roaches. That's why I identify their favorite snacks, like old books, clothing, wood. Then I seal entryways and use the latest scientific methods. Orkin, pest control down to a science.
Before ISS, before Hubble, we built the most extraordinary machine. Stand nose to nose with Space Shuttle Atlantis, one of thousands of exciting things to explore at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex in Orlando. Always exploring.
Time to sweat, boys. Big time. Let's get this thing right.
my one shot.
I have made fire!
Fat Guys in the Woods. The new season starts June 7th, only on the Weather Channel.
Xfinity sales professionals are always on the go, meeting new people every day. They're helping families get the latest Xfinity products and services. And they're making customers happy. Jumpstart your career with the best sales training in the industry. Great benefits like discounts on your own Xfinity services and the potential for high earnings. Have what it takes? Apply today and see what doors open for you.
Nutrition Smart wants you to be smart with your nutrition. Save more this month with 20% off Thursdays. That's right, get 20% off store-wide every Thursday this month. Shop the latest in organic fruits and vegetables, the largest selection of vitamins and supplements, and a variety of natural health and beauty supplies. Be smart at Nutrition Smart. Opposite side from Publix next to ABC Liquors in Palm Beach Gardens. Nutrition Smart.
Tomorrow morning, storm, soak, repeat. The severe threat ramping up in time for the weekend. We're tracking the storms from Texas to the Great Lakes. Wake up with Alan AMHQ tomorrow morning at 5, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Low 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Don't count on El Nino for anything. If you have high El Ninos, you can still have low flows. And in Northern California, El Nino is not very well correlated with stream flow. So don't count on an El Nino. Don't even look at the forecast if you're interested in drought.
Well, that was Jay Lund, the director of UC Davis Center for Watershed Sciences, speaking last year. And he was talking about El Nino and how you can't necessarily count on it to help California's drought. You know, folks in Texas are wondering, can they count and look to El Nino for relief? What about this rain this week, Chris?
Now, with an official El Nino named last month and the recent inches and inches of rain in much of Texas, we're going to go in depth right now and see if there is at least some connection with Dr. Greg Postel here. And Dr. Postel, is it part of the reason you think that El Nino gets so much attention? Because if there's a bad year, whatever type of weather it might be, and it's an El Nino year, they tend to get associated?
Maybe so. I mean, there is some connection, but you have to be careful. I mean, I think there is a point the scientist was making. He said you can't count on it. That means pretty much every year you can't expect it. But if you average up, say, 20 or 30 years together, you'll see a signal there in the El Nino relationship between rainfall patterns in the U.S. But it doesn't mean any given year, you're going to get it, because there's a lot of internal variability there that it may oppose El Nino's signal.
I think it's a human thing, too. We love to blame something, right? And El Nino gets a name. It's something. Yeah. But, you know, for this year anyway, we're barely into an El Nino. It was just named back in April.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, it seems to be on the rise in the El Nino sort of measures. You can see the signal showing up now in the data, and the forecasts are for it to strengthen over the next 6 months to a year. And here's what a typical winter pattern looks like over the U.S. And we see basically a split flow in the jet stream. We got a subtropical jet coming in this way and a sort of polar jet in the wintertime. You'd think of it coming out of this way. So you have warm and wet conditions in various places of the U.S. And again, this is an average pattern that's really been derived from averaging up many, many seasons together. But any given single season may not look like that, which was what the point was earlier.
Right, and I circled winter because the signal is more pronounced in winter months.
Yeah, it is. That's right. The jet stream that the El Nino and tropical SST, sea surface temperature patterns, try to latch onto. They try to latch onto the jet stream, and it's farther to the south in the winter time. So you can see the tropical, extratropical connections more clearly in winter because the jet stream allows that to happen. because of its shape at that time.
Doesn't it also, just having an El Nino is one thing, but also what about the magnitude of it?
And
How
the
does that play into
location.
it? And the location.
And the location, because not every El Nino is the same. Some of them have strengths of patterns in certain areas of the Pacific and have different responses in the extratropics, depending on where those sea surface temperatures are, anomalies are located. So this is the idea in a typical winter, and it kind of, matches up with maybe what we're seeing now across parts of Texas. But, most of the variability that we see over North America is not El Nino related. It's extratropical internal dynamics unrelated to El Nino, most of it. That's not to say that El Nino doesn't play a role, but most of it is not El Nino. That's the way it is.
We can't blame it. It's not the
You
El
can blame,
Nino.
maybe blame a little bit, but not all of it.
All right,
How about that?
interesting discussion.
A little,
Great.
but not all.
All right, thank you, Dr. Postel.
All right, well, coming up here, we do have this rainfall, though, and sometimes with the rain and too much rain, it comes with a price. And in this case, it's been severe weather.
Also, this right here, coming up when and where we're watching for another weekend severe outbreak.
Now, as we head to break, check this out, New York City. We've got another dry day out there. But it's nothing new for us. 21 days in a row now, no rain. This is our longest dry stretch since 2001.
Yeah, in Central Park, think about this. You have not had rain since April 22nd.
No rain again today. There might be some showers late tomorrow night. Chance on Saturday, and then next real chance of rain comes on Tuesday here in the Northeast. You know, Chris, with all of that snow we had in places like Boston, throughout the Northeast, would you believe they're all running below average?
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
Think fixing your windshield's a big hassle? Not with Safelite. Just go to safelite.com. Tell us where and when you need us, and we'll come fix it right away. With Safelite, it's that easy. That's another Safelite advantage.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
Making a fist. Something we do to show resolve, to defend ourselves, to declare victory.
That's how you do it.
So CVS Health provides expert support and vital medicine
Make a fist for me.
at our infusion centers or in patients' homes. We help them fight the good fight. CVS Health, because health is everything.
Your heart is precious. One of many ways to support its health is new True Heart from One A Day. It's the only heart health supplement with ingredients to both help lower bad cholesterol and support healthy blood pressure, and also includes CoQ10. Try new True Heart.
When our little girl was born, we got a Subaru. It's where she said her first word, no, saw her first day of school, bye-bye, made a best friend forever. Oh my God. The back seat of my Subaru is where she grew up.
The 2015 Subaru Forester.
What?
Built to be there for your family. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
We travel to connect those places separated by distance. Sometimes we measure this distance in miles. Other times, by the markers of our history. And then there are those journeys we take to connect the greatest distance of all. The expanse between two souls, held together by the hands of time. Find something more in Illinois.
If you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis like me, and you're talking to your rheumatologist about a biologic, this is Humira. This is Humira helping to relieve my pain and protect my joints from further damage. This is Humira giving me new perspective. Doctors have been prescribing Humira for 10 years. Humira works for many adults. It targets and helps to block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to RA symptoms.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Talk to your doctor and visit Humira.com. This is Humira at Work.
can't control the weather, so we build things to harness it.
This is about how far you can push yourself.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Low 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Tomorrow morning, storm, soak, repeat. The severe threat ramping up in time for the weekend. We're tracking the storms from Texas to the Great Lakes. Wake up with Alan AMHQ tomorrow morning at 5, only on the Weather Channel.
And this right here, some new video out of Guthrie, Texas. A tornado plowed through yesterday afternoon. Eyewitness described this one moving right along the Wichita River.
The funnel dropping, you can see it certainly looks large as in this vantage point. Now, we saw this near the 4-6's Ranch area. No reports of damage. And this was one of 2 tornadoes that was reported in Texas yesterday.
But we're going to stay with this. We'll keep you on.
Thanks for staying with us here on Weather Center Live. I'm Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Chris Warren. We saw that tornado right there, and we are looking at the potential for more tornadoes in the next few days. And the threat is up there again, similar to last weekend.
Yeah, the pattern is very similar. I mean, you look back at the past few weekends of severe weather, really go back to April, mid-April, April 18th, until just 5 days ago. We've seen everything. We've had the flooding rain. We've had large destructive hail and destructive and deadly tornadoes. Chris, the concern is that this upcoming weekend pattern is similar to what we have just seen. Could do it again.
Yeah, so we're going to take a look at some weekends right now, Jen, going through April and May. Starting off right now, April 11th and 12th. This is a look at all of the different reports where either large hail, damaging winds, or strong winds, or tornadoes. Tornadoes are the ones in red if you look closely. So you can see a nice little swath of severe weather reports. Again, April 11th through 12th. Now going forward to another weekend, the 18th and the 19th, the next weekend. And look at all of this over 2 days, all of these different reports with a lot of tornado reports within that. If you see some of the reds hidden here, but there's still a lot in there, a lot of activity here in April 18th to 19th. Now the 25th and 26th. Again, another weekend looking at different pockets here in the Tennessee Valley, also throughout parts of the Southeast and through Texas in Louisiana. It was very active here. And we're going to take a look now going into May. First weekend in May, some activity throughout the upper Midwest, also around Texas again. And then looking at this past weekend and all of the activity and a lot of tornado reports in there. You can see those reds hidden in there. So we are once again looking at that potentially again. Let's go right now and take a look at Lake City, Iowa from Sunday. Some of the video from the most recent set of severe weather and tornadoes. And this one tearing apart a roof here. An amazing scene that we did see with some of those reports. Again, looking at another threat similar to last weekend when this happened for this coming weekend. So here's a look for North Platte, Nebraska, Friday, Omaha Saturday, Madison, Wisconsin Sunday. So 3 days with a 3 to 5 on the Torcon. So what we're talking about here, a 30, 40, or 50% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of North Platte, Omaha, and Madison, Wisconsin. So think about that as we look at the setup that we saw last weekend, similar to this weekend. Here's last Saturday. Here's that dip in the jet stream, and we put this into motion, and you see the change. There isn't much of a change, really. So once again, from Saturday to Saturday, we are going to see similar patterns setting up. So looking for the potential of similar weather, including that threat for tornadoes, our exclusive tornado condition index here at the Weather Channel. Within 50 miles of any point in this region, there is, out of 10, 3 out of 10 chance here, a 30% chance in central Kansas, western Oklahoma, the Texas Panhandle. That's for tomorrow. Looking now at Saturday, the threat goes as far north as North Dakota, South Dakota. Pretty high numbers here this far away. We're in the 4 to 5 range, getting into parts of Nebraska and Kansas, Oklahoma, a 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of any point in central and eastern Oklahoma. Now, outside of that, there will be storms. That's the tornado threat. So anywhere here from Florida on Saturday all the way up into northern Minnesota, over to New Jersey, parts of Connecticut, all the way down to Texas, there will be a chance of some storms. And within some of those storms, Jen, we know they can end up being strong as well.
And bring some heavy rain, too. Now, the good news from these storms is that we have seen relief with the heavy rains in the past week, especially in parts of Texas. But has it been enough? We're going to talk about this in the Drought Monitor with Mark Svoboda from the National Drought Mitigation Center in Lincoln, Nebraska. Mark, thanks so much for being here today. You know, we pay so much attention every week to that weekly Drought Monitor update. And last week's Drought Monitor update did not really include much improvement in Texas and Oklahoma, but this week we saw a big one. So was it just the rain or was it the reservoirs? What pushed you over the edge to make those improvements?
Yeah, we are starting to see recovery on a lot of fronts in Texas. Of course, 2 to 3 times the normal amount of precipitation over the last 60 to 90 days will do that. In fact, this week is the first week we don't show any D4, the exceptional drought on the map. We haven't seen that. You'd have to go back to July of 2012 was the last time we saw D4 not on the map in Texas.
And Mark, we do us a favor, and when we talk about the map that you're referencing and the different colors, can you help put that into perspective? When we look at those colors, essentially, why should we care about what we're seeing on the map?
Well, you know, Texas, the drought in California is certainly getting a lot of attention, but this drought is longer lived in the Southern Plains, Oklahoma, Texas. And the darker the color, the more severe that drought is. And when you look at the exceptional drought category, which I just mentioned, we removed out of Texas and Oklahoma this week, you know, that's a 1 in 50 year type of event. So you'd have to go back to the 50s drought or even the 30s drought. And some of these locations, it was worse off than some of those years. So it was definitely a drought of a generation, if you want to call it that.
You know, how easy could we slip back into drought? We've had a wet couple week stretch, but certainly history in the past couple of years has shown us that we can be quite dry here.
Well, you know, we still are lagging on some recovery. There's still some concerns on some reservoir levels and groundwater levels, and that can be the lifeline for communities, whether it's drinking water or for agriculture. And they're the last to come out of drought. They're typically the last when you go into drought, so there's a lag there. So certainly if you go really hot and dry and get, you know, extended triple-digit heat that we've seen in parts of 2011, 2012, you could reverse this pretty quickly. But this is the way drought seems to work as well. Mother Nature tends to bring us out pretty quickly. Flooding during drought events is not uncommon at all.
And you pay probably more attention than anybody does about this. When looking at the drought and the Drought Monitor, what concerns you the most?
Well, I think what concerns us the most is when do you say it's all clear? Drought's real tricky on that lag coming out of drought, just like it is going into drought. You don't want to cry wolf too soon, but you want people to be prepared and take a heads up. We've seen this in Texas before where we've had really a wet year on record followed by 2 dry years. So the question is, this is a short-term drought recovery year within a longer-term drought, you know, not a mega drought type of situation maybe like we're seeing in the West, but rather, is it a blip on the radar versus long-term sustainable recovery? So that remains to be seen, and I think we need to see this go through. And perhaps with El Nino brewing out there in the oceans, that'll get us through next winter in much better shape. We can finally say Texas has really recovered from this drought. But I think we're going to have to wait a few months to figure that out.
We were just having a discussion about El Nino. Mark, how much does human nature play into it? So if people, if businesses, if communities, if farmers make changes to account for the drought, and then they go back to their old pre-drought habits, will that really affect how we recover?
Yeah, it does. That's a great point. The whole other equation with drought is the vulnerability, and that's the social factor. And that is, you can't keep doing business as usual anyway. I think these days we know with the groundwater situation and the High Plains Aquifer has been severely depleted. It's a very undervalued commodity, and so you're going to use it if you can to do what you will. So the bigger question is long-term sustainability down the road, even without drought. I think we have to keep that on our radar as we go forward.
Mark Svoboda with the National Drought Mitigation Center. Thank you so much for joining us this morning with your perspective on this. This is a conversation we have every week, the Drought Monitor, so it's nice to hear from the source.
And we will for a long time when we look to the west as well.
Yes, we will. More on the rain there. Plus, we'll go to Florida for an update on dangerous storms yesterday.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Low 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
With a full line of independent rear suspension options, the Foreman, Rubicon, and Rancher automatic DCT models are equally ready to work and have fun. Part of the growing ATV family from Honda. Now get low fixed financing rates plus up to $500 in bonus bucks during the Honda Dream Garage sales event.
Deep in the dark, untouched recesses of your engine is power you never knew it could produce. And vapor can set it free. New Stable 360 Performance unleashes an exclusive vapor technology that rises above the fuel line to protect your engine where other additives can't, to help keep your engine running cleaner, leaner, smoother, and stronger than ever. The next level of performance is in the vapor. Stable 360 Performance.
Can a protein originally found in a jellyfish improve your memory? Our scientists say yes. Researchers have discovered a protein that actually supports healthier brain function. It's the breakthrough in a supplement called Prevagen. As we age, we lose proteins that support our brain. Prevagen supplements these proteins and has been clinically shown to improve memory. It's safe and effective. For support of healthier brain function, a sharper mind, and clearer thinking, try Prevagen for yourself today.
It starts with a subtle wave, then builds into soft fingers, lifting sails and spirits. Nothing makes us feel more alive than a summer breeze, drifting with us on the water, chasing us through the trees, and playing along the whole day. In the Great Lakes Bay region, the summer breeze is blowing. Where it's headed is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
With its black tie style and green-minded smarts, it's easy to see why many consider Jeep Grand Cherokee to be the gold standard. One drive and you'll discover why the Jeep brand continues to be the best-selling SUV brand. Join us now during the Jeep Drive and Discover event. Get 0% financing on the 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most awarded SUV ever.
Kelly, how'd you come to find the biggest liquid gold mine in the state?
I was shopping for provisions.
Yeah?
That's when I saw it.
What'd you see, Shelley?
Boxes and boxes of Belvedere shells and cheese stacked clear to the ceiling.
Can we go look at it, Shelley?
Yeah, it's right over here. Oh! There's gold in them there shells. Liquid gold.
Well, sir, after some serious consideration, I'd like to put in my 15-year notice.
You're quitting?
Technically retiring, sir. With a little help from my State Farm agent, I plan to retire in 15 years.
Wow, you're totally blindsiding me here. Who's going to manage your accounts? This is a devastating blow I was not prepared for.
Well, I'm going to finish packing my things. 15 years will really sneak up on you.
Jennifer will do your exit interview, and Adam made you a cake.
Red velvet.
Oh, thank you.
I made this.
Take charge of your retirement. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Oh, this audit will take days. What a headache.
Actually, I don't have a headache anymore. Excedrin really does work fast.
In fact, for some, relief starts in just 15 minutes. Excedrin.
Wow, that was fast.
As the host of a popular home improvement show, I know a lot about finding a great contractor for home repairs and improvement projects. Now there's HomeAdvisor.com, a free service that matches your project to top local service professionals.
We didn't have to do any work other than say what we needed. Just
1, 2, 3, I found my guy, and everything was smooth.
And it's always free to use.
We've had nothing but fabulous every single time.
Go to HomeAdvisor.com now to get started on your next project.
Home Advisor.
All right, this is Weather Center Live, and this is a live look at a couple of cities here. We're looking at Minneapolis and Chicago. Both have cloudy skies, and both eventually will have rain. We're in the 50s right now, and it's not looking too bad if you're going in Minneapolis, and you have a few hours in Chicago if you want to go for that walk or run. So let's take a look at what's going on. We're going to start off with a look at Minneapolis, because real soon, you're going to see some light rain start to develop for you in Minneapolis, and then we're going to have that steady, you see just rain, that means we're going to have that steady rain, like it's going to be raining for hours. Not necessarily heavy rain, but it's going to be wet. It's going to be wet for most of the day for you in Minneapolis. So that's what's coming, and right now it's starting to sneak in the southwest side of town. So Minneapolis, St. Paul, pretty soon, you see how the rain's all around you. It will fill in, and as you look, there's a lot of green to the south. As you watch the direction this is going, once it starts raining, you have rain here, rain here, rain here, rain here, rain here. It's all going to be coming hour after hour before it eventually moves out. So dealing with the wet weather there, eventually in Chicago, you're going to see that rain come in, but you still have some time because here's Chicago, and that rain's a bit of a ways away from you. Also see it looks like it's kind of stretching out a bit, so that might not even be the real punch before you get that rain coming in a little bit later. We are seeing some rain right now in St. Louis, and all of that rain helping with the drought that we're looking at here throughout parts of the upper Midwest. So January 1st of this year, no drought. However, there is now severe drought. This color right here of this region, 6%. So this rain at least will help with that. Jen?
Well, it was a scary scene in Southwest Florida yesterday when lightning strikes two roofers working on a house in Bonita Springs. Witnesses say the bolt hit them just before they started to climb down a ladder after hearing thunder, striking one of them directly in the head.
He was unresponsive. I mean, he had his clothes were blown off of him. He's got a giant hole in the top of his hat that's burnt. The side of his face was just, burnt.
One roofer went into cardiac arrest but survived after paramedics revived him with CPR. He's now in stable condition. The other roofer had minor injuries. All right, so first of all, let's look at the radar from yesterday afternoon. There were some active thunderstorms out there in southwestern Florida. Of course, you can see them moving over from east to west. Let's go into the area, though, right around Bonita Springs. There were several lightning strikes here. It wasn't tremendous lightning, but obviously it was enough. And he heard the thunder, attempted to get down. But there it is, that one lightning strike.
It just takes one. It just takes the one. And the thing is with lightning, part of what makes it so scary is that they come with thunderstorms, but exactly where the strike will be can be somewhat unpredictable.
And not to mention there's different ways that lightning can affect you as well. Lightning can strike you. All right, so the main discharge, if you have a direct strike, that's when the main discharge channel travels over and through a person. That's most common if you're out in an open field, in an open area.
So that's a direct strike.
Right. All right, so we go to the side flash. This is a little more common, actually, when lightning strikes a taller object nearby, like a tree, and then a portion of the current jumps over to the person.
So not a direct, but a side flash.
Exactly. All right, and then we go to the ground current. This is when energy travels outward, from a strike across the ground. This is the cause of most lightning deaths and injuries. So again, you're outside, lightning hits the ground, and you think you're safe because you didn't get struck directly, but you still will get that current.
Right, but it's going to be a little bit more diffused, but regardless, it's still lightning.
Exactly.
Still getting shocked.
How about conduction? That's when lightning, of course, traveling great distances, especially through wires and plumbing and other metal surfaces, and you get the current and right through that.
And you have to be careful when you're inside because of that.
Because of that, exactly. All right, and then the streamers, where a point separates from the main channel discharges even without making a full connection to the cloud here, and this might surprise folks as well. All right, so coming up, we're going to talk about lightning and the latest impacts for this weekend's severe weather threat.
Lennox makes the quietest system you can find. So even though it's the most powerful force in your home, it won't.
For more information, contact your local Lennox dealer.
When you're waiting for summer, every second feels like an eternity. So when it finally arrives, make every second count on a Sea-Doo watercraft. At the Countdown to Summer sales event, get up to a 5-year warranty or save up to $1,000.
Are you sending your kids to school with an allergy medicine that may make them drowsy? Only Children's Claritin provides non-drowsy 24-hour allergy relief.
And it's the #1 pediatrician-recommended non-drowsy brand.
In class and out, your kids can live Claritin Clear.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is a large and dangerous tornado.
That's why we get real local the moment you need it.
We are live in Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Florida.
Real accurate.
This is round 1 of the severe storms that are coming through.
From real experts on the ground.
That is a gust front for you right there in Dusty, Texas. Wow.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is basically what makes the Weather Channel
Keep the Weather Channel on.
Here at the Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel is out in full force today.
Only the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Low 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We could tell you about the years of research and development. How we forged advanced high-strength steel to make the frame stronger yet lighter. The countless hours spent testing the suspension and tuning every sound from the engine to the trunk. But until you get behind the wheel, you have no idea. The completely redesigned Hyundai Sonata.
It's nearly Memorial Day, so hurry into Lowe's for these great deals, like $10 off select deck and concrete resurfacers via online or mail-in rebate, plus 10% off composite decking. So before this Memorial Day, come to Lowe's and enjoy special savings.
I'm Louie, and I quit smoking with Chantix. I told myself for so long that I needed to quit smoking. I would quit, and then I'd go right back to it. Chantix absolutely helped me quit smoking.
Along with support, Chantix Varenicline is proven to help people quit smoking.
Chantix helped reduce my urge to smoke.
Some people had changes in behavior, thinking or mood, hostility, agitation, depressed mood, and suicidal thoughts or actions while taking or after stopping Chantix. Some people had seizures while taking Chantix. If you have any of these, stop Chantix and call your doctor right away. Tell your doctor about any history of mental health problems, which could get worse while taking Chantix, or history of seizures. Don't take Chantix if you've had a serious allergic or skin reaction to it. If you develop these, stop Chantix and see your doctor right away, as some can be life-threatening. Tell your doctor if you have a history of heart or blood vessel problems or develop new or worse symptoms. Get medical help right away if you have symptoms of a heart attack or stroke. Decrease alcohol use while taking Chantix. Use caution when driving or operating machinery. Common side effects include nausea, trouble sleeping, and unusual dreams.
I'm not worried about smoking my next cigarette. To me, that feels great.
Ask your doctor if Chantix is right for you.
Unbelievable. Toenail fungus? Seriously?
Smash it with Jublia. Jublia is a prescription medicine proven to treat toenail fungus. Use Jublia as instructed by your doctor.
Look at the footwork.
Most common side effects include ingrown toenail, application site redness, itching, swelling, burning or stinging, blisters, and pain. Smash it.
Make the call and ask your doctor if Jublia is right for you.
New, larger size, now available.
You totaled your brand new car. Nobody's hurt, but there will still be pain.
It comes when your insurance company says they'll only pay 3/4 of what it takes to replace it. What are you supposed to do? Drive 3/4 of a car? Now, if you had Liberty Mutual new car replacement, you'd get your whole car back. I guess they don't want you driving around on 3 wheels. Smart.
New car replacement is just one of the features that comes standard with a base Liberty Mutual policy. And for drivers with accident forgiveness, rates won't go up due to your first accident. Learn more by calling 1-888-380-5644. Switch to Liberty Mutual and you could save up to $423. For a free quote today, call Liberty Mutual Insurance at 1-888-380-5644. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. We love to see your pictures. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well right here on AMHQ.
All right, this is some incredible video of a tornado in Guthrie, Texas. Now, this was taken yesterday, Wednesday, and reports say the tornado was spotted about a half mile from town and did not cause any injuries or damage. There's another chance for storms like this. You can see the cone-shaped tornado, which I've heard turned into sort of a stovepipe tornado for a while too. Also from that vantage point, you could see the rain shaft as well. So scenes like this are going to be common again this weekend across the plains. You know, we saw it last weekend. We saw really just 2 reports of tornadoes yesterday in Texas. And that one was in Guthrie, Texas, back here across the western portion of Texas. We are going to be looking again this weekend and really starting tomorrow for all of the triggers coming in place to get the air rising and to get thunderstorms going and to get severe weather going. So we look at the cold front, we look at the warm front, the low pressure, and then we look at the dry line. And this is often a trigger for thunderstorms that end up turning tornadic out here when all of the ingredients are in place. You've got warm, hot, dry air that butts up against warm, moist air. This ends up lifting up this warm, moist air, and that's one of the ways that we get the thunderstorms going. I mean, we look for many different things in the atmosphere. We look for where is the moisture. We look for where are the triggers to get the air rising. And so this is going to be one of the triggers. And this is how the dry line actually sets up. It acts just like a front. It's a front between different kinds of air, different air masses. And so what happens is you get the air that's forced up, and there's so much forcing to get that air rising that eventually you break through the cap of warm, dry air. And these thunderstorms can really grow explosively into the atmosphere and up with height. So as we look at the forecast ahead for tomorrow, we will be looking for the dry line to see where it sets up. And we'll look at the dew points to find it. We'll see a lot of warm, moist air out ahead of the front. Dew points will be in the upper 60s, close to 70s, much drier air behind it. And again, that will be the trigger for thunderstorms that we will watch for that tornado potential. We've got Torcons out already for you tomorrow, 3 in central Kansas and western Oklahoma. We're also watching Saturday, and we will watch the dry line again on Saturday as well. Again, you'll see all of that warm, moist air surging northward all the way up into portions of the upper Midwest, including Minnesota. But you can see back across New Mexico and even parts of West Texas, Colorado, that dry air will punch in and be one of the triggers for air to rise and thunderstorms to form. So we've got Torcons of 5 out already for central and eastern Nebraska, back down into Kansas. Also a 4 already in central and eastern Oklahoma. This is your Saturday Torcon. Of course, this is a severe weather situation we will continue to update you on. Chris.
And Jen, right now we're getting a look at 2 very different avalanche videos in 2 different parts of the world. One showing the avalanche as it comes crashing down the mountain, the other showing afterwards. Let's start off with a look at what happened after the avalanche. And zooming in here, you can see the 2 people, and look what they put in the snow, SOS. And this taken from a helicopter. And you can see here, it looks like their track right in through there walking. Looks like the 2 people right there stopped and wrote SOS in the map, or in the snow rather. And if we can, we're going to show this again or not. But what's interesting about this, you see that SOS, and it looks like another vantage point. No, here, this is pretty cool. You see right here, you see that? You can see where it looks like it had given away, or possibly had given away from these vantage points. So these are pictures taken from the helicopter and the 2 people right there.
Wow. All right, we can take you to Mount Everest, to base camp.
Look at that. Ooh, look straight ahead.
Right after the first earthquake in Nepal.
And it looks like this is like maybe residual snow coming down, not the actual avalanche itself, but kind of like the blow off from it. but certainly needing to take cover, and they do.
Yeah, and they do.
Because you see how it was coming from across the valley? You know, the avalanche probably happening somewhere down there, then hitting the side.
I'm surprised at how calm
they
they were. I guess there's nothing they can do other than to go into what shelter they have.
Right, but I don't think that the avalanche was right on them because it's happening across the valley.
Right.
So I think it's almost like ash coming out of a mountain, where it's just kind of blowing out at you. But that's certainly got to be scary. And we've seen the after videos too, where it looks like it had just snowed afterwards, as opposed to everything being wiped away.
All right. Well, coming up next, we'll be back with more on timing out the severe weather threat for the weekend. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Low 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy. High 86. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.